Leadership, 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 success, success, success. Hi, my name is Jonathan Medina. I'm America's #1 youth motivator. I'm your teacher, I'm your coach, I'm your friend, and I'm your teammate. And today we're talking about leadership, success, and it's National Gear Up Week. So I'm so pumped to be with Rice ISD. I'm so pumped to be a part of Region 12 Gear Up this year, celebrating National Gear Up Week. It's all about college success, career success. And so thank you so much to Miss Pretty for inviting me to be a part of Rice ISD National Gear Up Week celebration. Now, as we get started, I want to share with you guys one quick thing. At the end of this, if you watch all the way to the end, there is a special prize. There's a special gift. I'm going to be giving one person in Region 12 Gear Up $100. So get in comments, like it. Just stay watching until the end so that way I can share with you how you can win the $100. And then I'm also going to share about having a personal pandemic. I'm going to talk about grit and about 9th grade. And so you might be wondering, who am I? My name, is, like I said, is Jonathan Medina. I'm normally someone like Miss Pretty would introduce me if we were doing a several-day leadership conference or camp with you guys, or trainings, or if I was coming to speak at your school. She would introduce me and she'd say something like, spoken to over 1,000 schools nationwide at places such as Harvard, Texas A&M, and schools from New York City to Los Angeles. Has reached over 1 million people in live audiences. Georgetown University football player, was a starter for 2 years. Featured on ESPN, NBC, ABC, Fox, TED. Best-selling author is a new one for me. And he also broke the record at McDonald's for eating the most Happy Meals in one day. Go ahead and get in the comments and let me know, take a guess what you think the number is for the amount of Happy Meals I ate. And then I want to talk to you guys. Before I was breaking records, before I was an author, before I was a speaker, it all started back when I was in school, back when I was a student, back when I first started to have a vision. Now, 2020 was supposed to be the year of vision. A lot of people call it the year of vision, 2020 vision. And one of my favorite quotes actually falls along the lines of vision. It says that without a vision, the people perish. And so I always say it a little bit different. I say without a vision, the students lose. So I want to know right now, what is your 2020 vision? What is your vision for the year? I know that you're not like everyone else that already gave up on their vision. I know that you're not like other people who quit on their vision, who cancel the vision. I want to know, what is your vision? So go ahead and get in the comments and comment and write the word vision in the comments. And then I want you to actually write it down on a sheet of paper. Write the word vision. And I want to know, what is the vision that you have? What kind of college do you want to go to? What kind of career do you want to have? What kind of life success are you going to be all about? What is your 2020 vision this year? And then I want to know about your 2024 vision. I want to know about when you graduate. I want to know about what it's going to be like when you graduate. Or do you see yourself, or how do you imagine yourself? How do you imagine that moment? You know, what does your cap and gown look like? How is it going to feel when you're wearing it out there? Are family members going to travel all the way across the state to come watch you graduate? Are they going to travel across the nation to come watch you graduate? What are you going to do right after you graduate high school? Are you going to go right into, instead of taking the summertime, you're going to go straight into college? That's what one of my best friends did. Are you going to college after the summer? What is the way that you plan on handling your 2024 vision? And then I want to know, Region 12 Gear Up is all about college success, career success, but they also want you to have a life success. So we want to know about your 2030 vision. What is your 2040 vision? All those things are still going to happen no matter what. The time will come eventually when you get to there. So I want to know, what is your vision? What is your game plan? What is your GPS? You have to have the end place in goal. Whenever you put whenever you get on GPS and you're going somewhere, you have to know the address of the final location, and then it'll tell you the coordinates. So I want to know, what is the vision that you have for your future? What is the vision that you have? For me, one of the reasons I love talking about vision, and one of the reasons I love Gear Up, is because I took my first college visit when I was just a 7th grader and I was in Gear Up. I remember we got on a bus and we drove all the way across the state. We drove all the way to Texas A&M College Station. I'm actually wearing the opposite shirt. I'm wearing a UT shirt, but we drove all the way to Texas A&M, and I can remember what it felt like when we got off the bus, or even before we got off the bus. We drove up. I could already see the trees. I could already see the buildings. I remember getting excited and thinking to myself, imagine someday when I become a college student. I want this to be me. I want to do whatever it takes. I'm going to get to this point where I'm a college student just like these kids that we saw walking around. I thought about to myself, I want to know what it feels like to live in dorms just like this. I want to know what it feels like to go through the halls. I want to know what it feels like to be in the classroom. I want to know what it feels like to be a student. I want to be a college student. And no one in my family had ever done it before, so I understood that it was going to take a tremendous amount of grit for me to get there. I didn't have parents to show me how to get to college. I didn't have older siblings that had already gone to college. I was the oldest, and no one in my family had ever gone to college, so it was up to me to get to college. It was up to me to start a tradition of going to college. It was up to me to be the one that had the most grit, so that way I could go to college. And so I saw that day as a day where I'm going to have grit. If you don't know the word grit is the ability to keep on going, the ability to never give up, the ability to continue to push even though it gets hard. And so what I need all of you guys to do is I want you guys to focus on having that vision and understanding what is the grit that it's going to take for you to get there. And so Miss Pretty, she gave me a quote, and so I'm going to read it right now really quickly. Let me get to it right now. She said, "The world needs doers and the world needs dreamers. But above all, the world needs dreamers that do." The world needs doers, the world needs dreamers, but above all, the world needs dreamers that do. Like I said before, I had a vision that I wanted to go to college. I know you have a vision for your 2020. I know you have a vision for your 2024. I know you have a vision for your 2030. But we cannot just stop at vision. We need to have grit, and we need to be doers. The world right now needs people that are willing to dream and have a vision and then be willing to do. There's a lot of people that have a vision that they're going to have success, but they don't have the grit and they don't have the action. They don't do what they said they were going to do. And so what I want you guys to do right now is, again, I'm going to write it down in the group. I want you guys to write it down. I'm going to write it down as well. The world needs doers. The world needs doers. The world needs doers. And so that's what I need for you guys to do today. I need you to be a doer. We're going to have a vision that we're going to go to college. We have a vision that we're going to have career success. We have a vision that we're going to have life success. But I need you to be doers. I need you to have grit, and I need you to be doers. And so what do we need to do about that? So I want to tell you guys about my 9th grade year. I know the world is having a pandemic right now, and I'm not going to talk lightly about it as if though it's not a difficult thing, because I myself lost a grandparent. My grandmother passed away because of COVID, and I had other family members that went all the way to the hospital. I've been lucky. I still haven't encountered it yet, but for a lot of people, they've decided that 2020 was going to be the year that they quit. They had a vision when they started 2020. They had a goal when they started 2020. They had a plan, and then they quit on their plan. And they quit on their vision. I'm seeing people post, "I wish 2020 was over already." People are posting that they wish 2020 got canceled. People are posting that this has been the worst year ever. But I want you guys to overcome that. I want you guys to have grit. I want you guys to continue to be doers. Now, I want to tell you guys about my 9th grade year. I remember I had that vision, right? I had that vision that I had a vision that I wanted to go to college. I got that vision from going on that first college trip with Gear Up. But I also had a vision that I wanted to play college football. And so I remember being in 7th grade. I put my helmet on. I put my shoulder pads on. I'm playing football for the first time. And you can't tell from watching the video, but I'm 6'4". I'm 300 pounds now. But back in 7th grade, I was not a good football player. I was not a big, huge guy. And my coach put me on the B team. And so I felt depressed. I felt like quitting. But my coach told me, he said, "It's not where you start, it's where you finish." And my coach taught me about grit. Part of having grit is to having the mindset that you can get better, having the mindset that you can bring resources around you. So I learned to have a growth mindset. I learned to have grit in my life. And so my coach taught me that I can get better every single day. So that's what one of my favorite things about National Gear Up Week is that you are going to do things where you can get better every single day. And so I'm trying to get better every single day. I'm getting bigger, I'm faster, I'm stronger. And by the time I'm in 9th grade, I'm now one of the top students. I'm one of the top leaders. I'm one of the top athletes in the school. And so I'm determined. I'm getting all my friends. I'm spending the entire summer at a friend's house. And while I'm there at his house, we begin to run as a group every single day to the school. It's about 2 miles away. We run every day to school, we work out, and then we play basketball afterwards. And so every single day, we're all working towards that goal, that vision that we have for our freshman year, so we can have an amazing freshman year. And then as I'm running to the school one day, I see that my grandfather is outside of the school. He's at a restaurant right across the street from the school. I recognized his truck and I thought, oh, I'm going to go inside. My grandfather loves me. My grandfather's going to give me some money. My grandfather's going to take me to get some sweets. And so I'm pumped to go see my grandfather. And I hadn't seen him in a very, very long time. So I walk in. I go to my grandfather's table. I see him. I give him a hug. And my grandfather looks at me and he says, Mijo, your mom is going to jail. Or your mom's in jail and she's going to be there for a long time. I'd spent all summer with my friends working out, getting ready to have the most amazing year. And at the end of the summer, I was supposed to go back to my mom, and I didn't realize, like in that moment, it just felt like everything, I went from having a pumped up heart and mindset to it felt like everything just collapsed on me. I felt like I was having a personal pandemic because I'd been afraid of that moment for a long time. I was aware that my mom did a lot of illegal things, and so I was scared that that was going to happen someday, that my mom was going to go to jail. And it finally happened. It finally happened, and my family gets split up. It finally happened, and I'm not going to see my mom. It finally happened, and I have to go live with my grandfather. And my grandfather, he's a migrant worker, which means that I have to work in the fields after school with him. And so it's difficult, it's hard. But I didn't realize that even though that was one of the hardest years and everything felt like it was collapsing around me, that when I look back at it now, I see that some of the decisions that I made ended up making me have one of the best years I ever had. See, I still continued on. I still continued to do all the things that or maximize the things that I could do. I couldn't go to every event because I had to work with my grandfather, but I had to maximize all the little bit of time that I had. I had made a decision that I was going to have grit and I was not going to quit. I made a decision that I was going to be a doer and not just a dreamer. And so I made a decision that I was going to have a vision. I made a decision that I was going to have grit, and I made a decision that I was going to do. And so that's what I want you guys to do today. I want you guys to make a decision that's going to be make a decision that you're going to continue your vision. There's a lot of people, like I said, they're giving up on 2020. They're not going to have a 2020 vision, but I want you to have a 2020 vision. Gear Up wants you to have a 20 vision because Region 12, they know that you could still have college success. Region 12 knows that you could still have career success. Rice ISD can still be a leader in the community. Rice ISD students could still have success. Rice ISD students could still be awesome. And so I want you to celebrate this year. I want you to get super involved in National Gear Up Week. You all are going to have the most amazing week. I believe in you, and so does everyone else. And so lastly, I want to celebrate. You got to know that all those wonderful things, but it all really started happening around that freshman year time, that time where I got to go to school and I joined clubs and I participated as much and ended up being where I made some of the best friends I've ever had in my life, where those students, we've all ended up going on to be successful. And none of that would have ever happened had I just given up on that time. And so what I want you guys to make sure you do is I want you guys to make sure that you do not give up, that you have grit, just like we talked about earlier. And so it's National Gear Up Week. I want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate your success. I want to hear your stories someday. I want to know about all the amazing success that you're going to have. And so I'm going to bribe you guys and give some of you guys $100 to participate, or give one of you guys a $100 prize. But here's how to enter to win. I want you to tag at J Medina Speaks. That's my personal Instagram. And so tag me in a post if you took a picture of your vision. If you just write any post and talk about a vision. If you want to write all week long and put all the National Gear Up Week stuff. I don't know what Miss Pretty's going to have for you all to do, but I've seen a lot of schools, they're posting about they're taking selfies or sharing posts of their Gear Up trips. They're wearing college shirts and posting it online. And so anything that you do all week long, tag me at J Medina Speaks. Also tag at ED Partnerships. That's the National Gear Up Instagram or the organization that supports Gear Up. And so they have their own Instagram. Last year, I had one of the students that I worked with. They were featured on the National Gear Up Week Instagram. And so I want that to be you all. I want you guys to be featured. I want people from Texas to be featured all across that National Gear Up organization. And specifically, I want people from Rice ISD. And so what I want you to do is I want you to remember that without a vision, the students lose. It's so important. This is the year 2020 vision. A lot of people have given up on their vision, but you aren't going to give up on your vision because you are going to be a winner. You are going to be a champion. You are going to have college success. You are going to have career success. And so you are going to be a champion. Don't forget to have grit, to never give up, and to be a doer, not just so be a dreamer, a doer as well. So a dreamer and a doer. And then I want to give a special thank you to Miss Pretty. I want to thank Mr. Sellers and Miss Ivy from Rice ISD. And then I also want to give a special thank you to Miss Sheila Anderson she's with the Region 12 Gear Up office. And I want to thank all of you guys, the students, the leaders, the future, all of you guys who are going to be champions. You are champions. So I always close out and say, I am a champion. So I want you guys to say it right now. Say, I am a champion. I want you to say, I have vision. I want you to say, I'm going to have grit. I want you to say that you are going to be college ready, college and career successful. Don't forget, it's game time.